I have here a set of holographic Easter egg moulds. They're not very good quality, as demonstrated here, but never mind, let's crack on. Now, I didn't buy them because they're holographic. I bought them because I was feeling nostalgic back to the days when you would paint an Easter egg or an Easter decoration at school. And so I bought them because I want to paint on them. However, I will only paint on a couple of them. I am going to make a couple more with some powders. So as you saw there, I've got my chrome red out. Anytime I get my chromes out, I have got to use the red. And of course, I therefore had to do this heart mould. Thank you for joining me for this Easter collaboration video, organised by Karen at the Dragon's Cave and Bex from Electric Trekker Creations. The playlist will be linked in my description. Please check out all the other Easter collab videos. Thank you. And this colour is called Holographic Pink. Now, this is a bunch of colours that I bought at Temu. I can't remember what they're called. Are they called Aurora powders? I have never used these in a project. The only time I've used them is to make a little heart to stick on the lids to show what the true colour would look like, especially when you've got the ones that are white. They look white in the pot, but they've got a little hint of a different colour, which you only see when you've used it. So for this one, I'm using one of the white powders. I can't remember which one I used. I couldn't tell much difference between them on the hearts anyway. So I thought I would use one of those Aurora ones for a change instead of just the traditional white micas. And then I'm using some of the other Auroras for the flowers. Now back to my chrome powders, and I pick out a green. And for this one, I try the trick or tip of dissolving it in alcohol. Then when you paint it on your mould, the alcohol evaporates, leaving behind just the powder. And I had to play about with it a little bit to get the right concentration of alcohol to powder, because at first you could barely see the colour going on. After a few seconds of watching this and you're getting the idea, I'll jump ahead. Right, I decide to back the hearts one with black, and I intend to back the rabbit one in black and the vine one in white, and I forget and do the vine one in black by accident. I didn't realise my mistake until I was mixing my white, and then I was annoyed at myself because I was thinking I'm going to have to use white on the rabbit one, and there's no way those colours are going to show up against a white background, and it was going to be a waste. But then I decided to take a chance on scraping the black cup, the cup with the black resin still left in, and I managed to scrape out enough to fill that one. So a bit of relief there. And then I've made two white ones, which are the ones I'm going to paint. I've got some leftover white resin, but that's fine. I've got another project on standby, so that doesn't get wasted. I am a little bit nervous about the vine one because there's bound to be some bubbles and you can't see through to lift them out, and I couldn't spray alcohol because that would have made the colours run. Okay, on to demoulding the vine one first. Now, they do say that black backing on chrome powders makes the powders pop more, but with it being green, I'm wondering whether it would have popped just as nicely or even better against a white background. On this heart one, I missed a spot, but I'll deal with that later. And I've noticed that there are little dots of resin left in the corners of the vines. Now I'm just examining my piece a bit more and seeing a lot of bubbles. So I end up not doing anything else with this one. The holographicness on those hearts is still coming through lovely. And on this one, the holographic pattern is in between the details, so on the backing colour rather than the rabbit and the flowers. I don't like this one though. There are some bubbles in this one as well, and I didn't do a very good job of cleaning up the mica powders around the details, so I don't progress with that one either. And here are my two plain white ones, which are the ones I am going to paint on using paint pens, I must point out. Lovely holographics. However, remember, I didn't buy these because of the holographics. I bought them because I want to decorate them. The holographics can always be left on for another project. So here's the first set of pens that I'm going to attempt to use. These are the first pens I ever bought years ago. And I very rarely do any painting on my pieces, so I very rarely use them. And here's another set, and I'm just doing a couple of hearts in different pens to see which colour I like best. The only reason I'm using pens on this one is because I needed to fix that one, and then obviously that would then be a different colour, so I need to try and match them all. Okay, back to the actual reason for this project, my nostalgia. So out comes another set of pens, my 30 set of Artex. The first two sets were metallics. These are not metallic. And again, I'm going to use a couple of different pens to find a colour that I like. The next pen I'm going to try is a fine tip. It's only a set of 4. I think the other colours are blue, black and white. I got these after seeing Michelle from Glitz and Glitter use them. And I decide that that's the one that I want to use for all of the hearts, so I've cleaned out the other ones as best as I can. And I don't think there's anything else to talk about here, so let's watch the rest of this egg being painted to a little music.
Got my colors lined up on the table today. Pastel dreams in every shade. Little egg shapes ready to shine. Blank little canvas, now they're mine. Paint pens clicking, here we go. Slow and steady, or just go with the flow. Dots and hearts and tiny designs. Losing track of all the time. Just one more line, just one more try. Oops, that wobbled, but that's alright. Paint the eggs, let the colors run. Little bit messy, a lot of fun. Every line doesn't need to be straight. That's the joy when you create. Paint the eggs bright and bold. Turn something simple into gold. Every piece a little surprise. Right there in front of your eyes. Pink and yellow, blue and green. Cutest little eggs you've ever seen. Tiny details, take your time or rush it through, it still looks fine. Turn them into keychains too. Something small but made by you. Clip them on and take them out. That's what crafting's all about. Add a sparkle, maybe two. There's no rules in what you do. Paint the eggs, let the colors run. Little bit messy, a lot of fun. Every line doesn't need to be straight. That's the joy when you create. Paint the eggs bright and bold. Turn something simple into gold. Every piece a little surprise. Right there in front of your eyes.
I tested out a couple of different colours on this bottom section, but ultimately I decide that I want to leave the rest of the egg white so that the actual egg shape itself is white with the patterns painted. For all of my cleaning up jobs, I use 99% isopropyl alcohol. As I am finishing up this piece, you can see that the holographic patterns are still showing up in between the details, so on the main egg shape. Bear that in mind. Right, I saved the best piece till last. I knew I was going to really enjoy painting this one, and with my colour choices I'm getting mini egg vibes, and it keeps making me want to eat some mini eggs. Now seems like an appropriate time to tell you that, just in case you don't know, when you paint over a holographic, you are going to lose the holographic effect. I found that out when I had to paint over that first heart, because on the heart mould, the hearts were the holographic areas. But I had committed that I wanted to paint these. So, as I said earlier, I ruined the holographic, but the holographic will still be there on the mould for another project. I really wanted to paint these. For this one, I am going to be painting on the holographic areas. So for this one, I do lose the holographic effect anyway. But there's a reason why I'm saying that, which I will reiterate later on demold. Seriously, doesn't this look good enough to eat? So I'm going over it multiple times in order to deepen the colour. Now on this section that I'm just about to start wiping off, if you're not careful, you end up scratching off the layer below, which is what happened there, and it was visible on camera. It must have happened on the lower section as well, but not visible on camera. So now I'm going to line the edges of those detailed areas with this white pen. I wanted to make a crisper edge to the details, but I end up wiping it off because the contrast of the brightness of the white pen against the matte of the area around the flower petals, there's too much of a contrast, but it would also be too time consuming to paint the area between the flower petals, and so that doesn't look good. Right, we are almost approaching the point where I'm going to attach the keychains, but I need to start talking now to have time to say what I want to say. So there are two lessons in this video. One is that painting will lose the holographics, but also so will spray sealing them, which is what I've done with them. To seal in the paint, I have sprayed them, but we've lost the holographic effect on the hearts, on the black one, and on the spaces in between on the other white one. We'd lost the holographics on the one on the left anyway because of me painting over the holographic areas. So for these ones that we should still be able to see holographic, would you have rather them been left holographic but dull, or do you like them shined up with the spray seal? Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to check out the playlist. Please hit the like button and please consider subscribing. There will shortly be a QR code on screen for you to subscribe if it's easier on your TV, and also a buy me a coffee QR code. Link for that also in my channel description. I'm very grateful for all donations received. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday and see you next week.
In a quiet room, late night glow, mixing dreams with resin slow. Some ideas I already know, some scare me half to death, but I still go. Epoxy waves and UV light, trying to get it wrong to get it right. Hands not perfect, that's okay. Every mark is part of the way. I step outside, would feel safe and known, build something